Hello guys and welcome. In today's video we are going to discuss about tequila. Let's see what definition says. Tequila is a distilled alcoholic beverage made from blue agave plant primarily in Jalisco region of Mexico. So these are the most important things about tequila. If you have to define tequila, that it must be made from blue agave plant, because agave also have different varieties which we will discuss later in this video, and it must be made in Mexico, primarily in Jalisco region. So there are other four regions where you can make tequila, but most importantly, it is made in the Jalisco region of Mexico. Let us talk about different regions as we are discussing about Jalisco. So I have written also in Hindi. Hindi में भी आप देख सकते हैं the pronunciation. So the right pronunciation is Jalisco, not Jalisco. So maximum variety of production of tequila is done in Jalisco. Other regions are Michoacán and Tamaulipas, Guanajuato, Nayarit. These are five regions in Mexico which are famous for the tequila production, and number one, Jalisco, is the most important region, which at least you need to remember. Tequila production. Red volcanic soil is the best suited for growing agave plant. So this agave plant is grown in the red volcanic soil because it does not need a soil which retain a lot of moisture. So this, and plus it has a lot of other components of the soil like magnesium and all, which gives good flavor and good growing of this agave plant. Each year, more than 300 million plants are harvested for tequila. So you can imagine that in a small area in Mexico is producing tequila for the entire world. In entire world, it is available in bar and restaurants. So you can understand the magnitude of the production, that it is 300 million plant every year. Depending upon the region, agave gives different characters. So you can depend, even blue agave will give you different flavor. If it is, अगर आपने उस प्लांट को वैली रीजन के अंदर ग्रो किया है, देन इट विल गिव यू डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर्स. और वही सेम ब्लू अगावे अगर आप ग्रो करते हैं हायर अल्टीट्यूड पे, तो इट विल गिव यू डिफरेंट टेस्ट प्रोफाइल ऑल टुगेदर. If grown in highlands, it gives large plant which gives more sweet taste and aroma as compared to valley region which is more herbaceous. So अगर आप higher altitude पे grow करेंगे, it will give you more sweet taste, and if you grow in the valley region, then it will give you herbaceous, vegetable, herbaceous, bell pepper kind of characters. Before tequila pulp, aged wine had been produced for thousands of years. When people did not know about distillation technique earlier, then they still that time they were making this alcoholic beverage called pulp from this agave plant. But later on, when they discovered the distillation process, then they start using the distillation and made the tequila and other alcoholic beverage. Over 2000 brand names have been registered, due to which each tequila bottle contains a serial number denoting which distillery has been produced. So there is a NOM number that is called Norma Official Mexicana, which is available on the tequila bottles. It is a four digit or five digit. It is four digit actually, a four digit number which is given to the tequila bottle label, which gives the information about the distillery, which distillery it has been produced, because there are a lot of distilleries producing tequila. So the consumer can understand which distillery it is coming from, whether it is premium or non-premium. Now let us talk about the harvesting. So harvesting is basically cutting the plant. The planting, tending, and harvesting of the agave plant is done by hand. So you can just imagine about 300 million plants per year harvesting is done by hands. So a lot of labor is required to do all these things, and then making these tequilas. So Jimodars has knowledge of cultivation passed down from generation to generation. So these people who are doing this has good knowledge of the cultivation of this type of plant. They know when to trim, they know when to do cutting and all these things. So then, because they want to make the center part more strong, okay, have more juice and pulp later on for making the tequila. So they control the number of leaves and the height of leaves to be grown big, because they have very big height of these plants. So this is regularly trimmed by these gemoders. He do regular trimming to avoid plant dying early and ripe fully. He must be able to tell when to harvest. The sharp leaf of agave plant is removed by koa. So this the uh, equipment which is used for cutting this type of pina and leaves from it, it is called koa. The center part is called pina, which is used in tequila production. So the center part जो है, it looks like pineapple, and it is used in the production of the tequila. Cooking. After the harvesting, after the taking out this pineapple kind of center part, which is called pina, the pina are cooked in oven with steam to extract the juice. So it will be put in the steam for two purposes. The first purpose is cooking soften the pina, making the process of sugar extraction easier. So it will be easy to crush it and take out the juices for the fermentation. Later on, we need at least, of course, we need liquid for fermentation. And second purpose of cooking it is to activate a chemical process within the pina that converts complex carbohydrates into simple fermentable sugar. So we need a sugar which can be fermented, which yeast can eat and produce alcohol basically. So for this we create enzymes which will do this job. So there are two reasons of cooking of this pina, and it is done in ovens. So these are the industrial level big ovens which is used for cooking the pina, and later on it is crushed. That is called extraction. The traditional method is to crush the pina with a tahona. Nowadays it is done by mechanically. So earlier they used to do with animal, um, making this crush, and nowadays it is done by mechanical process. Then comes the fermentation. After taking out the juice, what we'll do fermentation. During fermentation process, the sugar are transformed into alcohol within large wooden vats or stainless steel tanks. It depends on the producer how what type of product they want to make, whether they want to use stainless steel or wooden vats for fermentation. Fermentation typically takes 7 to 12 days depending on the method used. After that comes the distillation. So after that we have done the fermentation, then we will do the distillation as we do for all the spirits. Distillation is done is in stainless steel pot still distillation or towers. Either we'll do pot still method or patent distill method. It depends also on the producer what type of alcohol, what type of tequila they want to make. Distillation is done twice, and tequila is called silver or bianco. At this stage after the distillation, the spirit which we have received is called silver tequila or blanco. The first distillation produces a liquid with an alcoholic level of 20% known as ordinaro. So after the first distillation, of course, we produce a lower strength of alcohol, which we do redistillation again. That is called rectification, which takes 3 to 4 hours and yields a liquid with an alcohol level nearly 55%. After the second distillation, tequila is considered silver or bianco tequila. Then comes the aging. So after the distillation we will do the aging if required. So it also depends on the producer whether they want to make a blanco which is clear transparent, or they want to do little bit of aging, okay, such as joven or reposado or anejo, extra anejo, which have um, different years, different aging time. So depending upon different aging time only, the tequila will be different. Okay, so all of them have the same agave juice, blue agave juice, which is fermented and distilled, but depending on the aging only, it will be different terminology for different tequila. So here we can see as silver, also known as aka, is also known as white tequila, blanco tequila, planta, or platinum. This will be 0 to 2 months, either after distillation directly, after keeping for few days it can be bottled, then it will be called silver. Then we have joven. Joven, also known as gold, oro, or dorado. Age varies because it is the mixture of this plus this, silver plus reposado. Now we see the reposado, and then we'll discuss about joven. Reposado is also known as rested. Rested means months to 1 year. So here it was 2 months. So if it exceed more than 2 months, like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, then it will be already reposado up to 1 year. So if this reposado plus silver we mix, and we can make it joven. So it depends on the aging of this, and then we will have the joven. Now after this, anejo. This is called anejo, also known as aged, and it is at least 1 year. So here it was up to 1 year, and it is at least 1 year. So 1 year and more, maybe 12 month, 16 month, or 14 months. Then it will be called anejo. Then we have extra anejo, ultra age, which is at least 3 years. So it should be at least 3 years, and more than 3 years. It can be 3 year and a half year, 3.5 year. Okay, so then it will be called extra anejo. And as the age increases, the color of tequila will become darker, because the color comes from the barrel. So the more time it is spent in the barrels, it picks up the color from the barrel. Now next we talk about some famous tequila, like this one is Jose Carbo. So the pronunciation is Jose Carbo, and we have the silver and gold varieties here. Then Patron. These are some of the famous tequila brands which you will find usually in the bars. Patron, Silver, Gold, Reposado, Anejo, Extra Anejo, all four variety which we have discussed. You can see here. So as the age increases, the color also becomes darker. Here you can see Souza, Silver, Gold, and Anejo. We have Souza is another brand. Now talk about mezcal. Then what is mezcal? Tequila we have discussed what is tequila, but mezcal is older than tequila. Okay, and it and tequila is a subset of mezcal basically. Okay, so tequila is one particular type of mezcal, we can say. Mezcal is produced in 8 specific region in Mexico. Like tequila को हमने देखा था, it was made in 5 different regions. It is made in 8 regions of Mexico. And Oaxaca is the center of mezcal. It produces 80 to 90% is made in Oaxaca. Like in the case of tequila, we have seen that it was Jalisco. Jalisco is the maximum production of tequila. So Oaxaca is the maximum production of mezcal. Mezcal can be made from up to 28 varieties of agave, including blue agave, but most often the स्पार्डिन अगावे. तो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ बेसिकली क्या डिफरेंस है इसमें और टकीला में. देर आर डिफरेंट वेराइटीज ऑफ अगावे, एंड टकीला इज मेड ओनली फ्रॉम ब्लू अगावे, एंड मेस्कल इज मेड विद ऑल अदर वेराइटीज, लाइक 28 वेराइटीज. 28 वेराइटी में कोई से भी आप मेस्कल बना सकते हैं, या सबको मिक्स करके बना सकते हैं, ब्लू अगावे से भी बना सकते हैं. थोड़ा सा प्रोडक्शन मेथड में भी डिफरेंस है, वो हम देख लेंगे. द प्रोडक्शन मेथड इज ऑल्सो डिफरेंट इन टकीला एंड मेस्कल. क्या डिफरेंस है? फॉर मैजकल द पीना इज कुक्ड ऑन वुड फायर फॉर सेवरल डेज इन एन अंडरग्राउंड पिट लाइंड विद वोल्केनिक रॉक which caramelizes and gives a smoky flavor to mezcal. So mezcal is more smoky because the cooking is done in wood fire and volcanic rocks, so it gets caramelized flavor. Whereas in case of tequila, we had cooked the pina in oven, steam के साथ में हमने उसको cook किया था. So it did not have any kind of smoky flavor. It has very neutral flavor, whereas mezcal has very smoky and caramelized flavor. So that is the difference number two. All tequilas are mezcal. All tequilas are mezcal, of course, because mezcal all varieties using. Mezcal is made by any agave and is older than tequila. So tequila से पहले mezcal आया था. mezcal की एक ब्लू अगावे से बनी हुई वैरायटी जो कि अच्छी स्पेशल टेस्ट है, जिसका एक कैरेक्टर है, उसको हमने अलग किया है mezcal से और उसको नाम दिया है tequila, which got more famous than tequila, I guess. People know about tequila but don't know about mezcal. Tequila is a subset of mezcal and made by blue agave in specific region of Mexico. ये हमने देख लिया था. These are the regions of mezcal. Mezcal के 8 region हैं. Oaxaca, the first one is the most important. ये हमने देख लिया था. The first one, that is the maximum production of mezcal. Now difference, एक डिफरेंस देख लेते हैं बहुत जल्दी से. मेड फ्रॉम एनी 28 वैरायटी. मैस्कल जो है वो किसी भी 28 वैरायटी से किसी से भी बन सकता है. ओके, और बट मैक्सिमम बना है एस्पारिन अगावे से, और ये बना है ब्लू अगावे से. ये आपको याद रखना है. ये 8 स्पेसिफिक रीजन है, इसके 5 स्पेसिफिक रीजन है. ये हैंड क्राफ्टिंग आर्टिसियन प्रोसेस है, और ये इंडस्ट्रियलाइज प्रोसेस है. इसके अंदर जो है ज़्यादा मैकेनिकल वगैरह यूज़ नहीं है. ये ट्रेडिशनल मेथड है, कुकिंग वुड फायर पे हुई है, और सारे जो प्रोडक्शन है वो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल है. ये इंडस्ट्रियलाइज प्रोसेस है, मशीन से सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं, ओवन के अंदर स्टीम हो रहा है, सारी चीज़ बड़े लेवल के ऊपर हो रही है. तो दैट इज़ अ इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोसेस. डिस्टिल्ड ओनली वंस, एक बार सिर्फ डिस्टिलेशन हुई है, सो इट विल हैव मोर हैवी फ्लेवर देन एज कम्पेयर टू टकीला. टकीला विल बी मोर न्यूट्रल. ठीक है, इट विल नॉट हैव वेरी हैवी फ्लेवर्स, स्मोकी फ्लेवर्स. तो टकीला कैन बी यूज्ड इन कॉकटेल्स. So mezcal cannot be used in cocktails, or it will be used in cocktail for very specific cocktails. But अगर स्पिरिट को आप न्यूट्रल कर देते हैं, तो देर आर मोर चांसेस दैट इट कैन बी यूज इन कॉकटेल्स. डिस्टिल 2 to 3 times, विच विल मेक इट मोर न्यूट्रल. स्मोकी फ्लेवर है, कैन बी ब्लांको, रेपोसाडो. अलग अलग एजिंग हो सकती है, जिससे कि एजिंग फ्लेवर्स आ सकते हैं, लेकिन स्मोकी फ्लेवर्स नहीं है. समटाइम्स हैज अ वॉर्म फॉर मार्केटिंग. अब मैस्कल के अंदर आपको कई बार वॉर्म भी मिल सकता है. ये वॉर्म काफ़ी टाइम पहले एक डिस्टिलर ने डाला था, क्लेमिंग दैट इट इंक्रीजेज द फ्लेवर एंड अरोमा ऑफ द मैजकल, बट नाउ डेज इट इज़ नॉट usually followed, and in some mezcal only it is found, and tequila never has a bomb. So let's see what is the difference. Tequila is a kind of mezcal, but these are the differences. Mezcal is from region difference है, agave का difference है, any agave and blue agave. and it is from 100% agave, and it is 49% तक इसके अंदर allowed है. So mezcal and tequila, these are the bottles of mezcal and tequila. Okay, so summary. So this is all about mezcal and tequila. What we have learned today is tequila definition, that it is a distilled alcoholic beverage made from blue agave only. Blue agave, primarily in Jalisco region of France. That is the definition of tequila. रीजन्स की हम बात करें तो पांच डिफरेंट रीजन्स हैं. फर्स्ट वन इज द हलिस्को विच इज द मोस्ट फेमस. अगर हम टेकीला प्रोडक्शन की बात करें, सो इट इज मेड बाय ब्लू अगावे. जो प्लांट है उसकी ट्रिमिंग की जाती है. द सेंटर पार्ट इज कॉल्ड पीना विच इज कुक्ड इन ओवन विद स्टीम विच सॉफ्टens the fruit and extract the sugar. After that fermentation we do, and we do the distillation. Okay, 2 to 3 times for in case of tequila, and then we do aging. Depending upon aging, we will have different type of tequila, such as silver or blanco, and joven, and reposado, anejo, extra anejo, for different aging time. Then we discussed about mezcal. Mezcal is also kind of distilled alcoholic beverage made from agave, but not from blue agave. There are 28 different varieties of mezcal which is used in production of mezcal. अलग अलग रीजन्स हैं. 8 डिफरेंट रीजन्स हमने बताए थे mezcal के. ओaxaca is the most important region for production of mezcal, because 80 to 90% of mezcal is produced in this region. Mezcal production में all parts are same, but only the difference is that it is a traditional method, so no big machines and everything is used for the production. And the pina is cooked on wooden fire, and which caramelizes and give the smoky flavor. And distillation is done once, which makes the spirit very heavy and full of flavors. डिफरेंस इज द सेम थिंग. रीजन का डिफरेंस है, अलग अलग रीजन्स हैं, वैरायटी का डिफरेंस है, एजिंग का डिफरेंस है, कुकिंग का डिफरेंस है प्रोडक्शन के अंदर. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंस. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड टुडे द टकीला, द डेफिनेशन, टाइप्स, depending upon aging and mezcal. Thank you so much for listening, and this is my thank you dance if you have reached up to this part of the video. Thank you so much.